the race. Let's get started. It was 5 o'clock and Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco. When was Alan riding his motorcycle?
At 5 o'clock.
Well, at 5 o'clock, right? At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle. Was Alan riding his car?
No,
Or was Alan
motorcycle.
riding his motorcycle? Of course, Alan was riding his motorcycle. Where was Alan riding his motorcycle?
In San Francisco.
In San Francisco. Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco. When was he riding?
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, Alan was riding his motorcycle in San Francisco. He was riding down Van Ness Street and came to a stoplight. Who was riding down Van Ness Street?
Alan was riding down in Van Ness
Alan.
Street.
Alan was riding down Van Ness Street. What was he riding on?
His
On a motorcycle. He was riding on his motorcycle. Was he riding down Market Street? No, not Market Street. He wasn't
No,
riding
Van
down
Ness
Market Street. Was he riding down Lombard Street? No, he wasn't riding down Lombard Street. He was riding down Van Ness Street. When? When was he riding down Van Ness Street?
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, he was riding down Van Ness Street. Who was riding down Van Ness Street
Alan.
at 5 o'clock? Alan. Alan was riding down Van Ness Street at 5 o'clock. Was he in a truck? No, he wasn't in a truck. He was on his motorcycle. And he came to a stoplight. Did Alan come to a go light? No. He didn't come to a go light. He came to a stoplight. We never say go light. We only say stoplight. Who came to a stoplight?
Alan came to stoplight.
Alan, of course. Alan came to a stoplight. What was he on when he came to a stoplight?
On Van Ness Street at
A
5
motorcycle.
o'clock.
He was on a motorcycle when he came to a stoplight. Where was the stoplight?
On Van Ness Street, he came to stoplight.
On Van Ness Street. The stoplight was on Van Ness Street. Was the stoplight on Embarcadero Street? Or was the stoplight on Van Ness Street? Van Ness, of course, Van Ness. The stoplight was on Van Ness Street. Who was at the stoplight?
Alan come to stoplight.
Alan was at the stoplight. Which city was Alan in? In San Francisco, of course. Alan was in San Francisco. Where is Van Ness?
Van Ness is in San
Well,
Francisco.
Van Ness Street is in San Francisco. Of course, Van Ness Street is in San Francisco. Is Van Ness Street in New York? Or is Van Ness Street in San Francisco? Well, of course, Van Ness Street is in San Francisco. Where was Alan riding? He was riding on Van Ness Street in San Francisco. And he came to a stoplight. A red Ferrari pulled up next to him. Did the red Ferrari pull up behind him?
No, next to him.
No, not behind him. The red Ferrari pulled up next to him. What pulled up next to Alan?
A red Burberry.
A red Ferrari. A red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan. Did Alan pull up next to a red Ferrari? No. Alan didn't pull up next to a red Ferrari. A red Ferrari pulled up next to him. Where did the red Ferrari pull up next to
him.
Alan? At a stoplight on Van Ness Street. At a stoplight on Van Ness Street, a red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan. Was Alan in a red Ferrari? No. Alan wasn't in a red Ferrari. He was on a motorcycle. Alan was on a motorcycle. What did the red Ferrari do?
The red ran next to him.
Well, it pulled up next to Alan. The red Ferrari pulled up next to Alan. The driver was wearing dark sunglasses. So, Alan was wearing dark sunglasses.
No, driver.
No, not Alan. Alan wasn't wearing dark sunglasses. Who was wearing dark sunglasses?
Driver is Tom Cruise.
The driver of the Ferrari. The driver of the Ferrari was wearing dark sunglasses, not Alan. The driver looked over at Alan. Did the driver look behind Alan?
No, look over. Alan.
No. He looked over at Alan. Who looked over at Alan?
Driver in dress.
The driver of the Ferrari looked over at Alan. Did Alan look over at the driver?
No, look at driver.
Yes, he did. Alan also looked over at the driver. Who was the driver?
Alan.
Tom Cruise! Tom Cruise was the driver. Alan looked over at the driver and realized that the driver was Tom Cruise. Who was the driver of the Ferrari?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was the driver of the Ferrari. Who was the motorcycle rider?
Tom Cruise.
Alan. Alan was the motorcycle rider, and Tom Cruise was the driver of the Ferrari. Who looked over at Alan? Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise looked over at Alan. What was Tom Cruise wearing?
Dark sunglasses.
Sunglasses. Tom Cruise was wearing dark sunglasses. Was Alan wearing dark sunglasses?
No. Tom Cruise.
No, he wasn't. Alan wasn't wearing dark sunglasses. Tom Cruise was wearing dark sunglasses. And he looked over at Alan. Tom sneered at Alan. Oh no. Did Tom smile? No, he didn't. Tom didn't smile. He sneered at Alan.